영어에 영도 모르면 일로 와. 이 영상은 오노스 무려 10분 정도 1대1 강의입니다. 그리고 이 학생은 그냥 영어로 강의를 원해가지고 그냥 다 영어로 했습니다. 그것 때문에 솔직히 이 학생이 많이 기특한 것 같아요. 진짜 요즘에 오펙 강의를 들을 때는 영어로 오펙 레슨을 받는 거는 좀 rare 하잖아요. 그러니까 아무리 영어로 강의를 받을 때 좀 어려울 수도 있지만 그래도 좀 더 노력하면은 되게 beneficial 할 것 같아요. 왜? 결국에는 오픽 위에서도 되게 좋고 그리고 솔직히 영어 듣는 실력도 많이 올라가잖아요. You're essentially killing two birds with one stone. 그것 때문에 좀 어려워도 되게 좋게 봅니다. 아무튼 이 학생은 지금 IM2입니다. 그리고 이 학생의 대답을 들으면은 영어를 좀 괜찮게 해요. 뭐 단어도 괜찮고 억양도 괜찮고 문법도 뭐 그렇게 엉터리벙터리 아니에요. 하지만 다른 IM2 학생들 같이 이 학생의 가장 큰 약점은 바로 unclear한 main point입니다. 지금 바로 보시죠. Tell me about your first trip to another country or city. When did you go? Where did you visit? What did you do there? Who did you go with? Tell me about that trip with lots of details.
About my first trip, well, I have a terrible experience when I went to USA. Well, I went to New York City last year alone, and after watching musical Lion King, and I wanted to go my home. My Airbnb
Okay,
was
Hyojung,
located
please stop right there.
is
Okay. So the first part here, when you're answering this question, this is past experience, right?
all right.
You did a very good job. You started out with, you had a terrible experience, right? And you're talking about, I'm sorry, I have goldfish memory. Did you say New York?
Yes, I say New York.
Right. So, that was so great. And of course, when you're identifying your main points, okay, I loved how you started with your emotion first. I think that was great. Okay. And then you told me about New York and whatever it is. And then over here, you said you watched some sort of musical, right? What was the musical?
Lion King.
That's right. So you watched Lion King. And over here, yes, I do know that it was a terrible experience. It was at New York. You watched Lion King. And then you were going to explain why it was terrible, right? I mean, later on,
Yeah.
you were going to explain that, but I stopped you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, right.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, the reason why I stopped you is because I want to know what this reason is in my main point,
I see.
right? I want to know a little bit of why it was terrible, and then you
okay.
give me more details about what happened. Now, if you do that, your main point becomes crystal clear, and your goal is to do that in 20 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. And a lot of students, once they start practicing their main point, their emotion becomes good. What they're going to talk about, it becomes clear. But still, this why component is usually missing. And when you miss that, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it's just so much better if you let me know in the beginning what you're going to
Okay.
talk about. Okay, so I want you to do that within 20 seconds. Now, before I said that for IM students, 30 seconds is okay, but I changed my mind. Nowadays, just making your main point clear under 20 seconds usually gives you a much better mark. Okay, so Hyojung,
Okay.
I want you to try that one more time, right from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Okay. All right.
ahead.
Sure. About my first trip, I have a terrible experience when I went to USA because I lost in New York, and I was scared about that. I went to New York last year alone and watched musical Lion King, and I wanted to go home. And my Airbnb was located in New Jersey, so I had to go bus terminal. So I took a survey, and maybe after 15 minutes, I felt something weird. Someone was looking at me, so I was shocked. You know why? Please don't get me wrong. I'm not racist, but there were so many black guys. So, I just opened Google Ads and I found out I was way to Harlem. So, I was very scared. So I just ran outside and I found Dunkin' Donuts. So, I just ran into there and I explained my situation about that. And the staff helped me go home safe. This is the most this is the most unforgettable experience when I went to USA.
Okay, so that one I had to listen to everything because I just wanted to kind of listen to your entire story. And you know what? Your emotion and the way you speak is quite smooth. So I think next time when you take this test, you're not going to have much problems getting a much higher mark. Okay, so this was after your Lion King show, and you're trying to go back home, and then you got lost, right?
Yes.
Can you do that main point one more time and just say that, you got lost and it was a terrible experience, after watching Lion King? Can you try that one more time, do your main point? Go ahead.
I have a bad experience when I went to USA because I got lost and I was really scared. Well, after watching musical, and then I wanted to go my home, and my home was located in New Jersey, so I had to go bus terminal. So I took a subway, but after 15 minutes later, I felt something weird because someone was looking at me, and I found I got wrong lines. I was way to Harlem. So, oh my God, I was shocked and I was ran out outside and I found Dunkin' Donuts and
Okay, stop right there. That was much better. It was much easier for me to understand. And you were focusing on the lost part. And you gave me a reason why you got lost. It was because someone was looking at me and, I felt uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden, I realized I took the wrong line because of that. So the transition here was very, very good. Now, the first time when you answered, you mentioned like, please don't get me wrong. I'm not a racist, but, this guy was black. And I don't know why. I was just a little bit scared, right?
Yeah.
So when you say it like that, it gives me a little more reason and more fun to listen to. So I really loved your first answer there. Please don't get me wrong. That line was so good. And I want you to continue that. Here's another word that you could use. Intimidate.
Intermediate.
Intimidate.
What does it mean?
Intimidate means like someone kind of scares you. Like for example, like a police officer is intimidating. Because, they seem powerful and they seem like, someone that you should listen to. So sometimes when a police officer talks to you, you're a little bit scared, right?
Yes.
That scared word is intimidation. So that's another word that you could use. Or you could say that, yeah, this guy was looking at me and please don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a racist, but he was a really big black guy. And he was a little bit intimidating because of that.
Okay.
If you say it like that, your vocabulary is all of a sudden boosted and you're going to sound just so smooth if you could do it like that, okay? But when I listen to you, your emotions, the way you speak is quite good. Your flow is nice. And I feel like it's not all that scripted, Like I feel that it's truly from your heart. And so I really love that part. Now, I just want you to kind of focus on your main point, right? Make sure that it's a little bit clearer, that you're lost right from the beginning in your main point. And then, tell me more details about what happened, and that's going to be good. I do want to stress that the question itself is talking about your first overseas experience. So here's a little strategy before we go. Basically, you could kind of mention that, you should say like, wow, my first overseas experience, I don't really remember, Something like this, right? You could be honest. I don't really remember, right? Just like that. I don't really remember. Okay, but I know that New York was definitely one of my first overseas experiences. So one of my first, right? So I don't really remember my first overseas experience, but I think New York was definitely one of my first.
Can I say I don't really remember like excuse? I think excuse is later.
Yes, and that's exactly right. So if you're not able to do that quickly in the beginning, you could say that later on. So, and the reason why I'm mentioning this to you is because you're not really a slow speaker. So you should practice both ways. I don't really remember in the beginning, or I don't really remember later. So for example, you say your main point first. Oh, I went to New York and it was such a terrible experience because, I got lost. And it was so scary, right? Now you can mention this part, right? But I don't really remember if New York was my first experience overseas, but it was definitely one of my first. So yeah, you can put it later on like that. Okay? But you should practice whatever is more natural for you. 자, 아무튼 여기 다시 생각하면은 여기 학생의 메인 포인트는 나는 뉴욕에 내 길을 잊어버렸다 막 이런 식으로 얘기했잖아요. 그리고 왜 그 길을 잊어버리는지 설명도 했잖아요. 그거는 바로 어떤 흑인 남자가 너무 자기를 이렇게 보면서 되게 무서워했다, 약간 그것 때문에 도망가가지고 내 길을 잊어버렸다 막 이런 식으로 설명했잖아요. 근데 여기 메인 포인트에 한 번 더 생각하면서 조절하면은 뭐 뉴욕에서 러스트 한 거보다는 어떤 뭐 남자가 나를 계속 쳐다봐가지고 내가 되게 좀 무서워했다, 아무튼 그것 때문에 내 길도 잊어버렸다 나중에 막 이런 식으로 내용이었었으면 좀 더 재밌었고 더 안 깔끔했을까요? 저의 생각은 그게 좀 더 좋을 것 같아요. 아무튼 여러분들이 많이 돈을 쓰기 싫으면은 그래도 자기의 영어 실력도 부스트하고 싶고 그리고 또 뭐 당연히 오픽 점수도 많이 올리고 싶으면은 우리 오너스 오는 걸로 한번 더 생각해보세요. 지금 너무 홍보 느낌이 나서 죄송하소. 하지만 좀 알려주고 싶어요. 요즘에는 IL 그리고 IM 학생들이 많이 옵니다. 비공개 is private? 그러니까 저의 비공개 방송들이 거의 한국말로 하긴 합니다. 그리고 이제 이런 1대1 뭐 10분 정도 강의도 한국어, 영어, 그거는 자기 초이스입니다. 아무튼 여러분들이 어떻게 하든지 어느 방법으로 공부하고 어느 방법으로 오픽 점수를 올릴 건지 You have my full support. 그리고 지금 여러분들을 위해 오픽 하나님한테 기도를 해볼게요. 오픽 하나님, 인생은 엄청 어렵습니다. 하지만 그래도 우리 열심히 공부를 할 거니까 오픽 점수를 크게 주십시오. 라멘. 붐.